Okay, well, I have the pleasure of introducing Whitney, and this is an interesting story. We met, like you, many of you may meet today. We were on a networking event, and for some reason, the energy was vibing, and we felt like we needed to talk to each other after. And we did. And so we, made connection and communication, and we had great conversation. And so she went into my contacts. A lot of times I put people in contacts by what they do or where they live, because if not, if there's 45 Barbaras in my phone, it's a problem. So, so Whitney went in under New York. Okay, that's great. And so I'm on my way to New York. I'm in Ontario. I'm on my way to New York to go meet Kimberly Butler and Michelle from Alicia Keys' organization, because we're doing some stuff together. And I'm on my way to go doing a writing workshop with Cheryl Strayed. Super excited, right? If you know the movie Wild. And so Kim, who's to receive me, gets COVID. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work. I'm supposed to be arriving there tomorrow. So I just started texting my people with New York. Hey, do you know a good place to stay? Do you know a good place to stay? I mean, you got to go by referral when you're down to the last 24 hours. And Kimberly was like, Kimberly, I didn't go to, but Whitney was like, well, hey, you can come stay with me. And I'm like, okay, I don't know you. You don't know me that well, but she's like, I'm a ferry away. But, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Right. And so she graciously welcomed me into her home, and I got to meet her husband and her 2 children, and got me on the right ferry and got me on the right subway to get me out to where I had to go. So thank you for that. But it gave us an opportunity to meet and greet and get to know each other. And, if you need to make some friends, that might be a really great way to do it. Just like pull up your phone. Where do you want to go? Hey, do you know where to go? Anyways, no, she was very gracious, and I got to learn more about what she does. And so we are super grateful that you are going to be with us today, and you're going to be sharing. So if you don't know Whitney Kobrin, she is a dating and matchmaking coach, right? All the single ladies. Okay. And she is going to talk about us. Her topic today is you don't have to do it alone. Awesome. And if you haven't played the gift game with us yet, if this is your first time on any of our launches that me and Angel do, here's the deal. She has an incredible gift. She is going to be giving a 4-session package worth $1,400. And you are going to have to listen to her, because there's something that she's going to say that I'm going to ask you. And the first person to put it into the chat, and Dorothea's like, put it in the chat and put your email, or we're not going to find you. So put the answer, put your email. You will be the first person. You will be winning that, and we will be connecting you after. So don't worry if you've won. We'll be connecting you after. She does have a free gift for everybody as well, and that is a mini consultation. So if dating or matchmaking is in your future, or what she says really inspires you, then go for it. In terms of favorite album, because we've got some music theme going on, she's like, I'll Be There by Sade. Love that woman. I'll tell you, I love that woman. I went to her concert when my daughter was 3 weeks old, and I'm a barefoot person, and she was singing in bare feet, and I was like, lady, you're my kind of girl. And the one thing you may not know about Whitney is that she's a natural champion high kick dance. She was on a high kick dance team, and she was a national champion. Always good to hear interesting things about people. So Whitney, I'm going to pass it over to you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for that kind and warm introduction, Deb. It's such a pleasure to be here. I have been inspired by all these women that I've been meeting over the last 5 years since I began this entrepreneurial journey. And it's so awesome to be surrounded by everybody's energy that's here. I am currently on vacation right now. It's my spring break. I'm here with my son and my mom. I'm in sunny Miami right now, which I figured I'll dress and use the surroundings around me to reflect where I'm at. And the title of my speech today is You Don't Have to Do It All Alone. And right now in my life, I do not feel alone. I feel loved. I feel connected. I feel happy. But being here in Miami, I'm actually about 4 blocks from where I lived when I felt the most alone I've ever felt in my life. I was frustrated. I was single. I had a toddler, and I was literally having to do it all alone. And I want to tell you a story, bringing you back to that time in my life that I hope will make you believe in love again. because so many of us right now, especially if you're single, are disenchanted. We don't like the dating scene. We don't like the online dating. We're wondering, where have all the good men gone? Is it even worth it? I just would rather do my own thing and be independent and take care of myself and make my own money and not have to answer to anybody and not have to deal with his toenail clippings and face shavings in my bathroom. Thank you very much. So I hope that today I can help you believe in love again. So picture this. I am living in Miami in a small 700 square foot, 2-bedroom apartment in Little Havana. And I work at Royal Caribbean's office at their corporate headquarters at the Port of Miami. I'm sitting in my office and it's almost 7 p.m. And I work till almost 7 p.m. just about every day because I'm grinding and working hard and trying to make a living. Thankfully, my son enjoys the daycare downstairs called Little Cruisers because he's there about 10 hours a day, every day. And on this particular day, I had a pit of anxiety in my stomach. I was anxious, I was overwhelmed, and I was obsessing about a guy. I had been in a relationship for about a year, and I was so sprung on this guy. He was everything on my list. He was tall, good looking, successfully employed. We were the same age. We studied in Spain at the same time. We were both American, but spoke Spanish. We had so much in common. And I was obsessing. And I was looking for some relief, some help. And I remember just innocently looking in Google for something that would help me to stop obsessing and figure out how to get this relationship to actually go somewhere. And what happened was I stumbled upon a love coach. And I start reading her website and I start reading these letters of women who are writing in saying, I'm so frustrated. I'm with this guy. I'm so obsessed with him. He's really great, but then we don't see each other much. And I just relate so much to this that I read on and on. I subscribe to her emails. I subscribe to her CDs that she would send to my house once a month, because back then we weren't streaming. And I shifted my energy. All of a sudden, I saw that I had permission to be feminine, that I didn't have to go into relationships and dates trying to prove how independent and strong I am, that I can be independent and strong, but that's not what's going to make love happen. And I got asked out for, well, I met someone and it was through friends. It was casual. He worked in technology and I had met him in an interview. He interviewed me for a job about 5 years before. And we started talking about an opportunity that for an app that he was building and how to build an app. And I had someone asking me. And so we decided to meet for dinner on a Tuesday night. It was not a date, not a date. It was a work thing. It was an opportunity. It was a discussion. I didn't want to pay for a babysitter, so I brought my 5-year-old son along with me. It wasn't a date. So I sit down with this guy and there's just something about his light blue eyes and how they sparkle when he smiles. And we're sitting there for a good 3 hours at least, had a few glasses of wine. My son shared a burger with him. He's talking to my son. He's allowing, my son to do a little bit of the craziness that little kids will do. And it felt so light and fun. And there was humor and laughter and a little bit of seriousness. But I felt like I was tingling, like I was floating. And I had a boyfriend at the time that I had been with for a year. that I was obsessing about and worrying about. And when I left that dinner, I remember calling my friend and I tell her about the date, and I say, well, I think I found someone for the back burner. A couple days later that week, I'm talking to my boyfriend on the phone and I tell him, you say you love me, but I don't really feel loved. My deepest vulnerable moment with him to date. And his response is, why don't you just squish down all your feelings like I do? And my heart sank. My tears started to stream down my face. I was devastated for about 2 seconds. And then I was so relieved. I was like, holy crap, thank you. Thank you for telling me the honest truth. I was honest with him and he was honest with me. And I knew in that moment that he was never going to be the guy for me, that he was never going to give me what I want, and that I was wasting my time by pursuing that. And I also realized that I had done this pendulum swing thing that so many of us do in so many areas of our life, where I had gone from always accepting the guy that liked me and just kind of settling because he liked me and I didn't really like him that much, but I would go along with it. I was done with that. So I went all the way to the other end of the spectrum and I chased after the guy that I liked. I'm going to get this guy. He's a winner. Let me tell you. And that didn't work either. But this was such a beautiful moment for me to recognize that I didn't have to keep obsessing anymore. And meanwhile, Jason was calling and texting me, and we were on the phone, and I just happened to say, well, I happen to be available now. And sure enough, we started dating. And 18 months later, we were married. Now, I want to ask you to think back in your love life. And I know some of you are married, and some of you are single, and some of you are somewhere in between. But even if you are happily married in an amazing relationship, you know someone that is struggling. You know someone that has built walls really high so that they don't have to deal with any of this. And also the people that have no walls and no boundaries, and they're dealing with a lot. Have you felt this before? Have you felt the obsession? Have you felt the worry? Have you felt the anxiety? Have you felt like giving up? Have you felt like dating is just too difficult and too much, and you'd rather just not deal with it at all? Let me just focus on myself and getting myself where I need to go. Doing it all alone. Doing it all by yourself. The household, the finances, the career, the child raising, all of this. And hopefully you don't feel as alone as I did. Hopefully you have family and friends to support you, but deep down, most of us have, I'd like to say all, but I'm sure there's exceptions, but we have a deep, innate, primal yearning to be loved and to feel that. And I want to share 3 universal truths that I've learned along the way that have helped me open to love. The first one is to know and love yourself deeply. And you are limited in how much you can love others and how much you can receive love by how much you love yourself. So if you don't even accept things about yourself, that's not even halfway there to loving yourself. We need to accept ourselves as we are and love ourselves. We need to know our value so that we don't settle for those guys that aren't giving us what we want and never will. We don't want to settle for that. The second important shift is to be powerful and feminine. I learned along the way to embrace my femininity, that it's not a liability, that it's an asset, that it is who I truly am. And Deb mentioned that I was on the dance team. I still love to dance, and I appreciate the wisdom available in our bodies. I appreciate getting out of my head and into my body. And the truth is, I have a feminine body. So when I do that, I tap into that femininity. And we can't assume that femininity is weakness. It is not. It has a power. And we can still have strong boundaries and values and standards while we're feminine. So the second one is to be powerful and feminine. The third one is to address our blind spots. You can't see what you can't see. You don't know what you don't know. There were things that were holding me back, limiting beliefs that I didn't even know I had. And it's taken a lot of time to figure that out. And that's part of what I do now with my coaching. And there's a part of this story that I don't have time to get into today, which is that my husband passed away 5 years ago. And I lost that love and had to believe in love again and go out there again. But here I am today, and I have an amazing relationship. Deb mentioned that she met him. Tim, you already met Jason. Now let me introduce you to Tim. He is amazing, wonderful. He is composed. He's energetic, but never loses his cool, never loses his shit, never blames me for anything that I'm not personally responsible. And yet he also holds a mirror to me and helps me to see what I'm being and how I'm being, whether that is a great thing in the moment or not so great. And I have grown so much in this relationship. I feel supported. I thought at one time when I was grieving that I would have to have 4 boyfriends to really be happy. And now I really have found it in one person. And he just makes me melt when I look into his eyes and when he tells me how much he loves me. And I'm not stressed out about it. I don't worry about it. It does nothing but add to my life. I feel supported. I feel seen. I feel heard. And we have a beautiful little blended family, little mini Brady Bunch with my 16-year-old son and his 16-year-old daughter. And we live together. And I couldn't be happier right now. And I know so many people that just look for the bad and look for the, well, I can't date someone with kids because it's just going to be drama. And I can't date someone like this because of this. And I can't do that. And no man wants to commit. And no one wants this. And we have all the reasons. And I know that these reasons are to protect your soft little heart that really does want love. And so I come back around to, you don't have to do it all alone. I'm here to help you. I can help people with their dating. I can help them do the inner work that it takes to open to a relationship if you're not even there yet. I can help you with matchmaking. If you don't want to go online, you don't want to try to sift through and find your person, you can outsource parts of that. And so I ask you if any of this resonates with you, even if you just want to have a networking call and get to know each other, I welcome and invite you to book a call with me. You can go to whitneylovecoach.com and you can sign up for my 3 shifts to manifest your ideal relationship. And you can also book a call with me. You can book a 1-hour call. I'll get to know you. I'll get to know what you're looking for, and I'll help you come up with a plan. And whether you can take that plan and run with it, or if you decide that you want some help to execute that plan, I can do that for you either way. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm excited to watch all of the other presentations on the recording because I'm off in Miami. I'm going to go enjoy my vacation. So I'm going to be stepping out, but I will definitely watch the replays. And I invite all of you to connect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Just show her some love. Okay, before you go and get that bathing suit on. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for being transparent and sharing your story. And Angel, I'm gonna ask you a little bit. So when Whitney talks about you don't have to do it alone, what is, I mean, not necessarily in dating relationship because you're married, but what is that overall? How does that land for you?
I think that is as women, like we carry so much like guilt and shame and embarrassment, right? Like we don't want to admit. And so I think like the one of the biggest things we can have is somebody that we can really be vulnerable with and share like the real. And because this is where the enemy wants to come in, right? And get in our head and tell us. And so we want to keep it a secret. We want to when we allow somebody to talk to us in a certain way that is not respectful, right? Like sometimes we keep that inside because we're embarrassed of what other people are going to think about us. And so when she says like, we don't have to do it alone, there is power when we come together and say out loud what we're really going through and what we're really dealing with. And then, then we don't have to listen to those voices in our heads. Like listen to our sisters, listen to our friends, listen to our coaches, listen to our mentors.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, look, you heard me share in the very beginning that Whitney has a gift for everyone, and she has just shared that. And so you guys can just go into the chat and you can say me, 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 me. And you can connect with Whitney through there. But I did say that Whitney was giving away 4 sessions and it was worth $1,400, and that I was going to say something and you guys were going to answer who are the first to answer. So if you were really listening, you're going to know. So when Whitney went on this non-dinner date, the non-dinner business date that she's bringing her 5-year-old to, because it's not a date, what was the food item that non-date person shared with her 5-year-old son? So go ahead and put it in the chat. Ooh, some of you are like, what? See, I was really listening. I was actually caught up in your story and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find something. I remembered that. But so go ahead and put that in the chat and you are going to be the winner of that incredible. Thank you so much. What a real gift that you have given us, and also with your presentation. So Whitney, thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to say before we say goodbye about that beautiful gift? What that includes?
So much. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to all the kind words from everyone. And I'm excited to be among such greatness.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Show some love. Hearts and butterflies, hearts and butterflies. All right. Thank you, Whitney.
Yeah. And if you've got an aha or a takeaway that you took away from Whitney too, right? You can put that in the chat. And really, we can keep this chat box just lit up, super engaged. If somebody says something, there's like an aha moment, a quote you liked, a phrase she shared, and I know several of you are engaging in the chat and making comments. We love that. Just so you know, like we absolutely love that. As the speaker, she can't be watching that while she's presenting, but afterwards, when she gets off stage, right, she can go back and read those comments and see what landed with you, which actually helps us to be even better next time we present to a group of women. So if you had an aha moment, something you took notes on, something that landed with you, even while they're speaking, feel free to just light up that chat box and share your thoughts and your takeaways. And then, of course, to win the prize, not only do you have to answer the question, but Dorothea needs your email address too. So it's a double whammy, right, of how you win. It's got to be the first one who answers the question correctly and give you the prize. Is that helpful, Dorothea?
Look at her. She's smiling from ear to ear.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Right?
They know. Wow.
And what an incredible prize too. So this is right, as we're all having those little voices in our heads thinking that, okay, maybe I'm going to go and run, do something else, reschedule that, put it off. It'll be there later, right? Stick around, because every single speaker has a super valuable prize. I mean, if we were to add up the prizes, the value, right, of the dollar amount of prizes, it's incredible how much good stuff we are giving away. Every speaker is giving away something for free to everybody who's here, as well as that one lucky gift, right, to that one lucky lady who gets to win that prize. But not just the monetary value, right? I mean, some of these things are priceless, that the only way you can get this prize is by being here today. This is something that they've pulled together and thought, how can I serve this community today? And so this might be the only way to get this particular prize that they're handing out. So you want to stick around. you need to be listening and paying attention. Your camera is live so we can see your beautiful, beautiful faces and feel that energy today.